I'm waiting for it to say I'm starting. Yes. Welcome to the order of Monday morning. I hope everybody had a nice Easter weekend. Uh, Even if you didn't celebrate Easter as a Christian holiday, uh, it was just a general holiday, springtime holiday nonetheless. Uh, I was holding up there uh, a card from the Thoth Tarot. Okay, and this is the art card, which in traditional decks is called Temperance. Okay, where the angel pours water on a fire symbol and fire on a water symbol, and but in the Thoth Tarot, it has the phrase that translates "visit the interior of the earth by rectification, thou shalt come to the hidden stone," or words to that effect. And it's also the Sagittarius card there. Now, this is very alchemical card, okay? It is in alchemy the card in the tarot that would represent the coagula part of the equation solve et coagula, okay? Dissolution and coagulation. And there's great magic that's taking place in this Sagittarius card there. You'll see that cauldron that she's mixing that fire and water in has a skull on it with a raven on top of it. And in a sense, that's a caput mortem or death's head. Uh, and above that is sort of a cross, okay, an equal armed cross. Uh, and in that cauldron, you see that lion there that's now white. His paw there it looks like it's blood there or something red tincture maybe. And the eagle here, who is usually a water symbol because of fixed Scorpio, uh, is sort of dripping some white substance there. Well, maybe that's the white gluten, okay, of alchemy. But it's sort of odd that the lion, usually associated with fixed Leo and fire, uh, you would expect him to be red. And the eagle, in alchemy, you would expect the eagle to be, silver or white. But the eagle has turned the lion's color, and the lion has turned into the eagle's color. And the angel here, who's mixing all of those things together, see, she's pouring the water over there toward the lion, and she's got that fire over there toward the eagle. She is sort of two things in one. She's a white with black hair and a golden crown. And the other half of the head is black with a silver crown and is blonde. Now, there are all sorts of theories about what those globes are, but I believe those are the multiple breasts of Diana of Ephesus, if I'm not mistaken, and little dots on the center are nipples. But maybe that's just because I read that into it. Okay, but it would be appropriate to do that. And that big thing that's right behind her, that big that round thing right behind her, is actually an egg, a giant egg. And the magical alchemical process that's going on inside that egg, that coagula section of the formula solvate coagula, what's going on inside that egg is portrayed by what we see going on outside of it. It's a magical thing. Now, just 180 degrees, first, and Samak is the Hebrew letter that goes with this card. And Samak is on the middle pillar there that goes directly from 9 all the way up to 6, the heart chakra. It's a very important card. But even in the Zodiac, though, the opposite sign of this coagula sign is Gemini. And the card for Gemini is the Solve card. This is the beginning of that process. And we see a wedding going on. And we see the character that it seems to be one character here with 2 heads with all sorts of different combinations there, start off as 2 separate characters. A black king with a golden crown and a white queen with a silver crown. And they got themselves the Holy Grail there with a diving dove. And look who, you got a couple kids there that Crowley explains that as Cain and Abel. But at the moment, there's the lion, but the lion's red. And there's the eagle, and the eagle's white. And there is the egg. Okay, so between this is the alchemical wedding of Christian Rosenkreutz. Between this and this is the process of Solve et Coagula. Now, I've got a lecture and a video presentation, or a PowerPoint presentation that has been recorded. I think it was recorded in Australia during my trip to Sydney and Melbourne quite a few years ago. It's still available if you want to order it. I think it's called The Sexual Alchemy of the Thoth Tarot. And so if you want details on how to order that, you can drop me a note. But anyway, this is just the very beginning of it. Yes, because we have to all get on with our day. I call it The Adventures of the Orphic Egg. In Crowley's Thoth Tarot, trump number 6, the Lovers, is one of 5 overtly alchemical trumps. The Magus, the Emperor, and the Empress, the Lovers, and Art, which is Crowley's new name for the card previously known as Temperance. The Lovers is a depiction of a 1459 alchemical document attributed to John Valentine Andrea, the chemical wedding of Christian Rosenkreuz, one of three original manifestos of the Fraternity of the Rose Cross, the Rosicrucians, where we see a dark knight with a golden crown accompanied by a red lion. It's like the best man at the wedding there. Being wed to a fair queen with a silver crown accompanied by the white eagle, which is her maid of honor, I guess. Between the king and the lion and the queen and the eagle, and positioned directly beneath the Holy Grail, emblazoned with the white dove of the Holy Spirit, is the winged egg coiled about with a serpent. These are all classic symbols for alchemical principles. But for the moment, let's look at the backstory to this chemical wedding. Let's start by looking at the three alchemical elements and three alchemical cards that represent the alchemical elements: mercury, sulfur, and salt. To number 1, the magus is mercury. Number 4 is the emperor, which is sulfur. And let's see. Sulfur, the emperor's solar redness might have something to do with that red lion at the wedding. Okay. And the empress is salt. Even her body forms the symbol of salt there, see? Whose silver lunar crown and white pelican might have something to do with that white eagle who was the bridesmaid at the queen in the art card. It's hard not to get ahead of ourselves when talking about alchemical stuff, being that it's all happening at the same time, okay, which makes people here in our limited dimension at a handicap of wrapping our brains around it. The lovers, okay, the lovers and the art card, temperance, depict the alchemical operation, or we could say the alchemical process of solve et coagula, dissolution and coagulation. Like when you bake a cake, you first dissolve the dry ingredients, the flour and sugar, in the wet ingredients, the milk and eggs. Then by using a gentle heat in the oven, coagulate the batter into a new entity, a cake. It's a wedding cake. The lovers in art also represent the zodiac signs of Gemini and Sagittarius, which just happen to be opposite to each other in the zodiac. Now, I'm going to digress here for a second. Does this give you any ideas of how to look at the signs of the zodiac as if they were the ends, the two ends of the same pole? You see lots of interesting things. In this particular case, this wonderful alchemical nature of the two mutable signs of Sagittarius and Gemini. But think about other things too. During the astrological age of Taurus, uh, the outward forms of religious worship, at least in Egypt, was the bull, the Apis, the bull of Taurus. But the secret esoteric worship was the serpent of the Uraeus serpent of the secret priests knew that, and that's because in a sense the overt outward religious forms were sort of dominated by uh, the the sun being stuck between you and the sign of Taurus. Okay, at the solstice or the you'd look up and see the sun, and behind that would be Taurus. So Taurus is being filtered through the sun to you. Okay, so uh, but right behind you, the direct rays, unfiltered by the sun, the direct rays of Scorpio are just hitting you right in the ass. Okay, you're getting the full force of that end of the pole. Well, in this particular case, we've got uh, Gemini and Sagittarius on that same pole, and they bring with it the secret of solve et coagula, solve. But every pair of zodiac signs, so we got six of those processes for us to think about, to meditate on, and to at the very least inform ourselves a little more about the dynamics of a sign and the sign just opposite, and how it might have its own little magical formula that goes with that. But I digress. The lovers in the art card also represent signs of Gemini and Sagittarius, which just happen to be exactly opposite to each other in the zodiac. Also, we'll learn that the winged egg let's see, the winged egg that's attending the wedding in the lover's card appears in the art card as the large egg behind the angel. In the art card, the egg is almost ready to hatch new life. But a lot must happen between solve and coagula. Now, I referred to these 5 cards as being overtly alchemical, but in truth, all the trumps could be called alchemical. Because represented within the 22 trumps are 3 primitive elements, 7 planetary, and 12 zodiacal trumps, all representing directly or indirectly their own alchemical processes. But for our purposes, let's just focus on a particular alchemical process, which I call the adventures of the Orphic egg. Now, before we get too far along, I want us to be clear on a couple things. The human body is already functioning as a well-equipped alchemical laboratory. And the dynamics of human sexuality is a powerful creative dynamo that operates in multiple dimensions and levels of consciousness. On a biological level, right here on the physical plane, we most commonly see the dynamics of this magical dynamo at work in our drive to experience ecstatic pleasure, and for the important creational job of perpetuating our species. But And all of this is a cosmically huge, let's see, cosmically huge okay, but the creative potential is not limited to the physical plane. Can I say that again? The creative potential of this job of procreating the species and our drive to experience ecstatic pleasure, that creative potential is not limited to the physical plane and human baby making. Indeed, it can and does create alchemical babies on other planes of consciousness and existence. Applied with focus and intent, magical intent, or as the alchemists say, with a gentle heat, with great attention. Applied with focus and magical intent, that same divine electricity that vivifies our natural physical impulses to perpetuate our species can be directed to bring to life other creations on other levels of existence, turning the lead of your head into the gold of Godhead. Now, I hope you won't be too disappointed when I tell you that the workshop I talk about when I say it's a video now will not be a titillating tutorial on techniques of sexual gymnastics. Don't even go there. That paints me gymnastics. They've never gone together. Okay. But instead, we will examine and try to understand how the magician Aleister Crowley and the artist Frida Lady Harris attempted to illustrate a simple universal truth that can be summarized like this. When one's self is dissolved in ecstasy, it becomes, in that timeless moment, the all. And when one is the all, one is capable of creating anything. Anyway, that's all we have time for this Order of Monday morning. If you're in the Sacramento area, there's Monday Night Magic class tonight, and here at our home. And so it's scheduled, so it starts at 8 o'clock. And all of you who are regulars already know, don't show up before 7:45. Otherwise, you'll catch us in various stages of discombobulation. Anyway, that's it for today. The Order of Monday morning is dismissed. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love under will.